Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is Nev from Nev's Tech Bits, and today I want to talk a little bit about expanding the storage on your Xbox One drive. I'm going to talk a little bit about what your options are, what the best options are for you, because it's all about money. It all comes down to how much money you want to spend. So to begin with, the internal drive on these Xbox Ones are 5,000 or 5,400 RPMs. That's how fast the disk goes. The disk goes faster, then you're getting more data off of it. So I'm really disappointed with them for going with that. And there's 5,400 RPMs, there's 7,200 RPMs, and then there is SSD, which is just quick as lightning. It just leaves those other two in the dust. So again, unfortunately, your internal drive is only 54 RPMs. So your options now are getting different kinds of docks or different kinds of external hard drives. Now you can install these so easily, they just have to be fast enough for this drive. And what you're going to want to do is go out and get a USB 3.0 drive. But it's all about what is on the inside of these drives. Again, you get your 54, your 72, and then SSD. If you can get a 7200 RPM, you're good, because if you want to get an SSD, you're going to have to be prepared to go out there and get your own case, and then be prepared to go out and get your own SSD. And man, those things are frickin' expensive. They are SSDs are unbelievably expensive. Anyways, let me show you what your options are. Let me show you what I'm rocking out right now. So this is my personal setup. You'll have to forgive the mess. Right now we have a child-proof gate, and I got a little piece of duct tape that I keep on the side of that IKEA drawer thing. It's a baby gate. The baby can't figure out duct tape yet, and it doesn't take anything off. So I gotta say, duct tape great for everything. Anyways, here is my Xbox One. I got it sitting here on the box. Here's Frosty, my spiritual aide and closest advisor and friend. Anyways, he's hooked right up into the side. Of course, you get multiple. I believe you get 3 or 4 USB inputs. There's one over here, or outputs. Input, output, whatever. Anyways, over here in the back, we also have more. I'm seeing. Where do I got them hooked up? 1, 2. I got 2 more back there, and I got those hooked into these little Passport, is what Western Digital calls them. I definitely recommend the Western Digital brand. It's really good stuff. Really good stuff. And the other one that I have hooked up is this really cheapo drive. If you guys have been doing any cheap things on eBay, you'll have seen this. This drive is between $5 and $10 online, and I have a Toshiba hard drive in there, 500 gigs. It works most of the time. Every now and then, if my kids have been pulling at the wire, it might not work perfectly. That's what I have, and it works. And I got most of this data full. So anyways, there's something really nice I'm going to be showing you. You just clip it onto the side of your system right over there. Anyways, let me take you to that now. Alright, here we are on Amazon.com, and the Collective Minds 2.5 hard drive enclosure with 3 front USB drives is the most elegant solution you can get here if you want to have more hard drive space and even more USB ports. It gets a very high rating, and I read through much of the reviews, but the only thing that I see holding this back is people who are pulling hard drives out of, like, say, 10-year-old computers, putting them in a dock like this and expecting them to work. A lot of those hard drives are going to have a lot of issues. Something you should know is a lot of hard drives, standard disk drives, break very easily, and it's amazing how horrible a lot of them are, and people still use them. So make sure you get a new drive. Make sure you initialize it if you have any problems. A lot of people seem to have problems with this thing initializing. But anyways, make sure you get a new drive. Make sure you get something good, something that's been tested. I'll put up a video shortly about how it's tested, but this thing looks like it's only as good as the hard drive you put in it, and I've heard some issues with it. It almost seems like it doesn't like some SSDs, but I gotta say, out of everything I've seen so far, I really want to get one of these things for myself, just because it looks so good. It also looks like people had issues when they've taken hard drives from docks and put them into this dock, because it seems to format things a little bit differently. It's the way it looks at bytes. I believe it's the same issue I've had before, cloning from drives that I've cloned onto from a dock and then put the hard drive into the computer, and it looks at it totally different because of the way the kilobytes are looked at, because of the way the dock versus the computer handles it. So yeah, that's the skivvy on that. I definitely recommend this. I like what I see here. Here's a $10 cheaper version. Has one review, doesn't look too good, but another option. And this is the hard drive that I would recommend that you get if you don't want to mess around with anything. If you just want to plug in a drive and away you go, you don't want to find your own hard drive. Western Digital 2 terabyte, my Passport. Always go with Passport. Always go with Western Digital. Um, it's the best you can get, basically. Always trust Western Digital. It's only let me down once, but Seagate's scary. I noticed that the official Xbox One external hard drive, mini hard drive, is a Seagate, and that scares a lot of tech people because Seagate has screwed up a lot of times. Maybe not. Maybe they've only screwed up about 0.5% of the times, but a lot of people lost a lot of data back in the day. These days it might not be so bad, but once bitten, twice shy, maybe a little on my side. Anyways, yeah, this is perfect. It's just a little drive, USB 3.0, you plug it in, and away you go. This is probably about 5,400 RPM, but USB 3.0, USB 3.0 is just crazy out the gate to begin with. And yeah, that's definitely what I would recommend. Now, one thing you got to know also, if you use an external hard drive case to get off eBay, a cheap one, and then throw a hard drive into it, make sure the hard drive is at least 260 gigabytes. That's as big as they'll take, so you can't just be taking thumb drives and plugging her in there. Or if you do, make sure you get a big one. And it is very fast. But yeah, those are your choices for extending your hard drive space. I'll have links to all of these things in the description. Take a look, and that's it for me. Have a good one.